Hello, this is Diana. This is my Trailblazers of the Universe YouTube channel. On my channel, I'm helping you fearlessly and unapologetically live your best, most authentic life. I am helping you break through your barriers and transcend any limitations you may have. If that sounds good to you, make sure to hit those like and subscribe buttons. Today's inspirational message is, you can't go back to being a caterpillar after being a butterfly. As you may imagine, the metaphor means that once you've gone through like a transformation of some sort, maybe you had a spiritual awakening, maybe you're doing like some heavy shadow work, you had a dark night of the soul, maybe you're improving your life in some kind of way, you're seeing through the illusions, you're becoming a better version of yourself, maybe you're stepping into your purpose, or your eyes are being open, like your third eye, you're seeing more than you have, you're seeing what's possible for you. You're working through some of your trauma. You're just doing like a lot of inner work in general, a lot of healing work. So you were a caterpillar, you're going through all the rough stuff. You might have even been slow. You're going through the transformation. You got a lot of obstacles. It's been a tough process. And then you had a metamorphosis like the butterfly. Once you start doing that work on yourself, it's hard to go back to your old self. Now, there is a transition period where you might bounce back and forth a little bit, right? Because that vibration of your old self is probably still stronger. You're probably like that for a longer amount of time, right? Before whatever changes you're making right now. So it can actually feel lonely when you're in that butterfly stage. Even though you're the beautiful butterfly, you've done the work, you maybe released negative attachments, you've healed more trauma, you're becoming self-aware of like your patterns, your behavioral patterns, and maybe things you need to work on, things that need to be healed, and transformed to become your best self. And it's not an easy journey. Definitely not. Anyone who chooses to embark on this journey, spiritual journey, personal growth journey, healing journey, you're already ahead of the game. I will say a lot of people in this world aren't self-aware. A lot of people don't want to do the work required. It's easier to go back to what's comfortable, to what's safe, even if it's making you miserable, even if it's something that's toxic, or sometimes that's familiar for us and that's all we know, and the chaos and all that. But there's divine order and chaos, right? So it can be hard if you're trying to go back to friends, habits, behaviors, activities, maybe addictions, whatever. After you've made a transformation, you made a big steps, you're feeling better, looking better. I'm not saying you're perfect, no one's perfect, but like you made a big transformation. When you've made a big transformation on any level, that could be physical, mental, emotional, or spiritual, when you try to go back to an old behavior, maybe people that you used to resonate with before you made that change, you'll find that like it doesn't resonate anymore. It's not in alignment. And those people might even be triggered by you. They might be repelled by you. They might not agree with the changes you're making, especially if they're not making positive changes in their life, or if they're stuck or in a bad place. And no matter what stage we're at, if you made any kind of changes or progress or transformation, even though you might not be where you want to be, you can still inspire people from where you're at. But when you try to engage in some of those old activities and behaviors and things like that, it can feel really like foreign. It can feel like really off-putting, like, what the hell? You can be in a situation like, what am I doing here? Like, this just doesn't align with me anymore on any level, on a soul level. And especially when you do more spiritual work, it really changes how you see things and your relationship to yourself and others. You'll get to a point where toxicity or even chaos or something won't be fun anymore. Maybe it used to be fun. I was the same way. I have a little bit of a past myself. And when I even overcame addiction and some other things I was going through and overcoming some, inner child wounds, trauma and things like that, and, grief and heartbreak. Once I started to overcome some of that, when I tried to go back to any of those behaviors or comforts that I used to have, it didn't feel right. It was like, it actually felt really bad. And that's a good thing. It's good. Why would you want to go back to being the caterpillar on the ground, struggling, right? When you could be the butterfly that's flying high, that's going places, that's transforming, that's making changes, that's becoming self-aware, that's doing the shadow work, that's you're being able to sit with yourself, and you're being able to have more self-acceptance. It's really hard to go back once you've made that change. Once you make the changes, you gotta not look back. So it's good to reflect on things and be proud of the transformation that you make. Sometimes we're going to be tested by things in our past You know, whether it's like temptations, addictions, or old behaviors, people, environments, things you struggled with before. Sometimes they might come up and rear their ugly head. They're trying to test you and see, are you going to be that new version or not? No, it's going to work. Okay, here's a test. Here's a temptation. And then you pass the level. Even if you do go back to caterpillar behavior, you can always learn from that experience. And sometimes you need to see the contrast. Sometimes you need to see butterfly life, caterpillar life, right? Sometimes you learn from contrast, from seeing, hey, this is clearly what I don't want. You might dip back into that old energy, that old self of yours, everything that was attached to your old self. And sometimes that's what you need to see that, like, oh my gosh, that's definitely not what I want. Look how far I've come, and why would I want to go back to doing that, or being with those people, or doing those things, or feeling that way. It also could be like your beliefs, like your thoughts, like thinking patterns, and the way you're feeling emotionally. You know, when you start to do more work on like regulating your emotions and everything, if you went through a transformation, congratulations. And don't feel bad about your transformation. Sometimes we feel bad because maybe others aren't there, or others don't want to, or others get angry at us, or they even try to maybe bring you down to the caterpillar life, right? When you're like, you're a butterfly, you can't go back to being a caterpillar. It's like, think about it. The butterfly has wings and is all beautiful, and like you're trying to go back to the old version of yourself, the caterpillar life. You have wings, you can fly now. Use your wings and fly, and don't look back. And don't be concerned about that caterpillar life because you're not there anymore. You've made it past that level, you've transformed, and now things are going to get better for you. Keep working on yourself, keep transforming, keep doing that inner work. Don't give up on yourself because you're worth it. That's all I have for today. If you like this content, hit those like and subscribe buttons. I also have a Facebook group, Instagram, TikTok, and 2 podcasts. The links are in this video description. I also offer coaching if you need intuitive guidance to motivate and support you on your spiritual healing and or self-improvement journey. My contact information is in this video description. Have a good day. Namaste.